Is guacamole a fruit salad?
What is the best milkshake for bringing boys to the yard?
Ostriches are dinosaurs.
Don't piss off old people. New game.
What do you mean it gives you Arby's mouth?
Artisanal muck duck balls.
I think they call that autofellatio.
I want to high five a shark.
Welcome to Bar Banter. Relax, have a drink with us as we debate the most controversial topics in the world today.
On today's podcast,
Uh,
the good gets way again. Toast. Yeah. Guys, this should be a day drinking episode.
day drinking.
Nay. We're doing all breakfast themed episode
Where's my mimosas?
with a little. You could have brought that. You could.
I was
have
actually
brought it.
hoping somebody would have brought one.
We'll get there.
I've
We'll get
thought
there.
about it.
We're gonna do what is the best leftover food to have for breakfast. At what point does breakfast become brunch? And lastly, we're gonna get rid of one breakfast item. But first, Benjamin Trimmer, what are you sipping on this fine morning / evening?
Went with a little CC and ginger ale, little Canadian club. I've actually been known to put a little Canadian club in my coffee on my relaxing Sunday mornings.
As you should.
Yeah, it's actually a great hair of the dog recipe. Since we're talking breakfast. Rick Madison, what are you drinking?
I'm breaking out of my shell.
No. No.
Yes.
Are you pulling?
Or is it just a new fixation?
No. Well, it's
Could
yes
be.
and no to that.
Could be.
So it's the new fixation is. I don't know if our listeners know. I recently moved back to Georgia a few months ago, and my personal struggle recently is trying to find a good wing spot where I live now. And while doing that, I've decided I am going to go do a tour to Georgia in the next few podcasts, and I will be selecting a local beer to sport each episode. This week, we're doing the Scofflaw Brewing Company Dirty Beaches Tropical Wheat.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. That's just what I am
Yet.
drinking currently.
Great beer, though. Great beer.
I also really like the name made me giggle because it's one of my, the beaches joke is my favorite personally. And so it works. Drew Mullis, what are you drinking?
I had some leftover of the Mai Tai mix that I was using.
Nice.
So I'm still on that with a little bit of white rum in the Mai Tai mix. And it's a bunch of juices and rum. So it's treating me pretty well. Travis, what are you drinking?
I am trying to finish off my Bacardi 10-year extra rare gold. It's from Puerto Rico. It's delicious. Before we get started, I have facts.
Ooh.
I want to spit some breakfast facts. The inventor of the toaster was inspired by watching birds sitting on power lines and thought to himself, what if I could make bread fly too?
Birds aren't real though, so
That's fair.
let's establish that.
Believe it or not, there's actually there's an effect that if you wear the cereal box on your head while you're eating that cereal, it actually makes the cereal taste better. It's called really the cereal helmet effect. Have you guys ever tried? I've worn a cereal box on my head. Never tried that before.
I'm wary of these facts because I feel like they're set up for a joke. So I don't want to respond.
Drew's been burned before.
No, I would never
don't
do
want to
that.
respond to anything you
Does
have
not
to
want to
say.
support the bad pun incoming.
And the reason that eggs are associated with breakfast is because chickens actually lay their eggs in the morning.
Great.
That's it. That's all I got. Guys,
That was so good. Good. I'm
was
so
waiting.
scared. I'm so scared.
I know. I know.
Beer actually used to be considered a drink for breakfast as well as another breakfast fact.
It did. Yeah.
Oh, it's still
So-
considered breakfast, lunch, and
Except
dinner.
your fact is real. Mine were made up. Guys, what's the best leftover food to have for breakfast?
I'll jump out there
Oh, rare
If I-
first
if I-
for Drew.
if I may. Leftover breakfast food. This one was hard for me because there are foods that I don't consider breakfast foods.
Hold on.
That
Hold
are-
on.
Wait, it was leftover
wait.
food for breakfast,
breakfast.
not leftover breakfast food.
But leftover foods that can be incorporated into breakfast.
Okay,
Sure.
Sure.
Because I think I know Rick's.
Yep.
Um,
I've ruined friendships
yeah,
before.
he has. Mine is gonna be steak
Ooh, yes.
because
Oh.
it's a rare treat for me that I'm treating myself to a steak
Or is it well done?
that I'm going to take home and have some left over. And then you just like slice that up and put it with some eggs and hash browns. It's a great food for getting that like memory of the night before and having something very special to eat in the morning.
I like it.
And that's fine.
Can I damage our friendship even more, Drew, before
Yeah.
I give
Yeah,
you my
go for
answer?
it.
Please
Do it.
Yeah, go for it.
I like your answer for two reasons. One, just steak and eggs is just a general thing I enjoy in the morning. But two, if I ever have a leftover steak from like Longhorns or Outback and I wake up in the morning, I'm not even I'm just taking it out and I'm
You
just
just
chewing
got-
on
just
it like
nibbling
you-
on
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I
It's
know.
tearing a piece
Yeah.
off.
I'm good with it. I'm good with
So
it.
good.
I honestly, Rick, done it. Do it. Also,
That's why I don't like Drew's
I love
answer
it.
necessarily, because I think the
But
best
if you
steak and
take
eggs.
the-
First of all, I don't
But
have
if you
leftover
take
steak.
the
That's
time
not a
to
thing.
actually,
Well, that too, but
if you take the time to actually like re-prepare it and put it and scramble it up with a bunch of things, it's absolutely
No,
fucking delicious.
I've made steak and eggs before and re-prepared it, but it always is well done at that point. It's not as fresh. It doesn't taste as good, but like having fresh steak and eggs, like a recently cooked steak, that's fantastic. But like a leftover steak and eggs, not as good. All right, Rick, what's your answer?
do you want me to get my bad take out of the way? While
Yeah, go for
it. As I've mentioned on podcasts before, the only pizza is the best leftover food for breakfast. Just take it out of the fridge, eat it cold, knock out 2 or 3 slices, you're good to go.
I'm not mad at that. I thoroughly
not
enjoy
either.
cold pizza.
Do you have a preference, like topping or like place where you like to get it from? Or
sausage, egg, and cheese?
I have a favorite pizza, but for this specific question, I don't necessarily have like a favorite like leftover morning pizza. If that's the question. I'm typically going to get a meat lovers pizza or a buffalo chicken pizza if it's like a local pizza place and they happen to have it. But in terms of like the morning leftover breakfast part, I don't care if there's cold pizza in it, even if it's supreme or veggie. I'm going for it. It won't be for me.
It won't be.
I'm just letting you
better
know.
not.
If I was at someone's house and that was the only option, like I'm still probably getting the cold leftover pizza, even if it's a pizza I don't necessarily love, before I go down any other rabbit holes.
I appreciate that. Well, because like the two pizzas you just mentioned, the meat lovers or the buffalo, like for me personally, if I had the choice of cold pizza the next morning, I'd jump on that meat lovers over the buffalo.
Sure. Of course, I would agree.
So that's why I was thinking, like, I didn't know if you had like a specific vector, because
No.
pizza was one of my answers, and I had it as a general, and then I had like one like specific pizza that I like cold more than anything else. But
because
I
I
was
think
curious.
as much as I think places should serve cold pizzas, I think that should be an option.
Agreed.
I don't order, when I'm ordering my pizza, I don't put thought into it being the leftover breakfast when I order my pizza. Like I'm ordering it for that moment, what I want. And then obviously if I'm ordering a whole pizza, I just kind of know in my back of my head, unless I'm with, a group of people, there's probably going to be leftovers. I'm having it for breakfast, but it doesn't change my order, just whatever I want at the time. But I would agree, like if there was 3 leftover pizzas, I would go for the meat lovers as my breakfast, but if there's just one, I'm going for it.
I like it. I like it. All right. Well, I'm going to jump out because pizza, I had 2 that were completely tied, and I went back and forth 100 times. And leftover pizza was one, but mine specifically was pepperoni pan from Pizza Hut. I don't know what it is about that next morning cold. It's the bread, it's the way the cheese hardens. But like I love jalapenos on my pizza when it's hot. I'm not a huge fan of jalapenos the next morning on my pizza. So specifically just the pepperoni. But the other thing I actually have done a lot of is public subs. In particular, if I get a full public sub for dinner and I don't eat the whole thing, if I have like this great turkey sub 4 or 5 inches left over the next morning, I will dive into that thing. And it is a awesome filler, especially if you were drinking the night before, like instant like hangover fulfillment. So, but it's only Publix. Maybe it's the bread. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that they load that thing up, but Publix subs. That's going to be my choice.
I must not have the same experience as you because anytime I have a leftover Publix sub, especially if it's cold, the bread gets really hard and stale very quickly, and it's not enjoyable. And like,
really,
I also feel like we just must get different toppings because
probably
because I'm just thinking like if I get like oil and stuff on it, like
I don't get any of that. But you're making a great point. You get all the oil and stuff, then the bread gets all like nasty.
But yeah, if I didn't have that,
yes.
If I didn't have that, I wouldn't. I mean, essentially, a sub sandwich isn't. It's basically the same idea as a pizza, just more bread. So I don't hate the idea. I'm just thinking about my order, and it wouldn't be great the next morning. But
cheese, meat, and bread, maybe some vegetables.
Specifically, if you get like the meatball parm, that's basically a pizza.
Right. Yeah. So I don't hate it. Just my specific order, I wouldn't want. But yeah, in general, I wouldn't be mad at a breakfast sandwich. I'm very excited to hear your answer to this.
If the topic was best hangover or drunk cold leftover, I would go pizza.
Okay.
That was definitely something I considered. But there's one that immediately came to my mind that even if it doesn't win, that's fine. But I'm not leaving this hill. I will die on this hill twice. Specifically, chicken lo mein. I want it cold. I want it congealed a little bit. I want to kind of dig into it and make it like a creepy popsicle and just
oh my god,
just gnaw at it and just
how
let
have
it
I never
like
known this
slide down the gullet. Like I don't know what it is, but cold chicken lo mein for breakfast the next day is so good.
Travis, you get 2 barbarian points.
I applaud you.
And I'm not kidding. Like this is not
I know
a
you're
joke
not.
answer. This is my legit like. I know Ricky said you don't like save or you don't pick a pizza out for the next day. If I get Asian food, I don't want to say Chinese food because I don't actually know if it's Chinese. If I get Asian food,
I think,
and I'm getting chicken lo mein, I am purposely not finishing it so I can eat it the next morning for breakfast.
Oh wow! I first of all, before you even go, it threw me off because you made a point to start with. It's not a hangover because to me, like pizza.
Oh no, my answer is a hangover option as well. But if I was hungover, picking between the two, I would go pizza because it's easier. I don't have to think about it. It's a lot less work. But for like just breakfast the next morning,
you're going cold lo mein.
Chicken lo mein. Specifically
chicken lo mein.
Chicken lo mein.
Specifically when it's congealed a little bit.
Yeah. When everything it's when you stab the fork in, you kind of move it around a little bit and you pull the whole thing out of the container at once and it's just one brick. It's like basically a lot or like a we'll call it like a T-bone, not like it's almost like a steak. The fork has the handle, and you're just eating it off the. It's so. If you haven't tried it, you need to try it.
No,
I don't think I will. I can't.
I don't think I will ever try that.
But I applaud you.
Well, I mean, okay, because
what you
like,
By the way, I left on purpose because of Travis's answer.
I don't hate it, and I'm a little ashamed. I don't hate it, but
I don't love it.
I can't let it win. I'll say that.
That's fine.
I'm
fine.
not mad at the pick.
I'm ordering Chinese tomorrow night for breakfast on Friday.
For breakfast.
And I will
Nice.
record myself eating it.
Some interesting choices, guys. Well done. Well done.
I will say I got it. I'm gonna die on Mayhill for the purpose of this discussion. It's pizza. Like
It's gonna be pizza.
It's gotta be pizza. Like cold, specifically cold pizza.
Yes, specific. Not not microwave,
not
reheated. Right.
No, not
specifically straight out of the fridge.
No, because it's grab and go. I can literally take the box out of my refrigerator, take it back to my bed.
Yes.
And that's my morning.
Little Caesar's cold and ready, like I need that.
Guys, we're again gonna change some things up. The listeners want to know us a little bit better. I haven't come up with a name for this segment yet, but instead of doing a last call, we're gonna just talk about our favorite things. So the first question addressed to Rick Madison, and then we'll go around. Do you pour your milk first, then add the cereal, or are you cereal first and then milk?
This question scares me because I think it might ruin friendships.
Yeah.
But I'm cereal first and then milk.
Ben.
I'm highly concerned with anyone who pours their milk first.
Okay.
It's absolutely cereal first.
Drew.
Always cereal first.
Okay, everyone passes. We're good.
Yeah,
that's a legit debate. Some people do the milk first.
Well,
and I don't know why.
It might be a debate. It's not a legit debate.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't be. Glad we got that out of the way. Just whew. Everyone here can stay. What Drew Yums, what's your favorite cereal? Your favorite breakfast cereal?
It's a hard one.
Yeah, this was hard.
It is. Mine harkens back to, and I don't eat cereal all that much nowadays. I just don't. But if I'm at a continental breakfast, or if I happen across cereal nowadays, it's always got to be Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It just has, for me, it's like cereal is an experience. So it's not I don't eat it every day. So it's got to be the best of the best. So you get that sugary, graham crackery goodness, cinnamon in there, and you get the leftover milk. So that to me, close second would be Cookie Crisp. And then the classic is Honey Nut Cheerio.
I'm going to second you on the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Cinnamon milk, I guess cinnamon sugar milk should be just a thing. I would be much fatter than I already am if it was a thing, because I think I would just drink that straight out of the carton. Ugh. But it's not, so I don't. So it's fine. Do you just not like people drinking out of the carton, or the cinnamon toast or cinnamon?
I don't like cinnamon. So
okay,
I
fair.
don't like. No, drinking out of the carton. All of
I
it.
Was like, I know you
yeah.
pretty well. That shouldn't be a
If
thing.
it was Cocoa Pebbles milk, would you be down for it, Rick?
So chocolate milk?
No, there's a specific flavor to Cocoa Pebbles.
You're not wrong.
I don't love the Cocoa Pebbles either, but I'm sure I could find a cereal one, like drinking out of the carton. I'm here for. I could find I support the idea. Just that flavor
of cereal flavor
is not right. Is just that flavor is not for me.
Fair.
But yes, if there was a line of post cereal milk, I would go
see what
find
you did there.
Really, honestly surprised that nobody's done that. Like come out with a line of...
Well, so they have cereal flavored coffee creamers, which is close.
I have had Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I'm gonna start an OnlyFans page, and I'm gonna sell my leftover milk after I eat cereal. See,
You got to get that ASMR mic that just here.
yeah, ship it on dry ice to people.
Yep. Which before anyone else goes, I had a bowl of Cheerios for dinner because that's what I do. And I was like, I need a little extra boost, so I did something a little weird. I poured some syrup on top of it just for shits. Tasted like Honey Nut Cheerios. It was really good.
Good for you.
Just for shits.
I was like, what's this taste like? We've all had Beerios, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hundo
yeah.
Syrup regular Cheerios is like just a dad version of Beerios.
Oh, we're out of milk. I guess this PBR
It's
could be
There we
okay.
more
And-
like we forgot to buy milk, but we bought
And to be
cereal.
clear, it's still cereal beer on top.
Oh
Not
yes,
the other way.
absolutely.
Right.
Rick Ben, what's your favorite cereal?
I probably overthought this one because like there's a lot of ones that like I like, but I wouldn't like a lot of. And like, for example, like Reese's Pieces, like that kind of one, like I just need like a box once, a quarter and I've scratched the itch. So I think overall, my favorite cereal, I'm going to be basic and stay on brand and go Lucky Charms for mine.
Okay.
But
I've heard they're magically delicious.
They are. There are other ones that I appreciate more when I have them. But I think overall, it's just favorite. Give me Lucky Charms.
Rick, we're blood brothers because my absolute favorite is Lucky Charms. I don't eat cereal like Drew's saying a lot anymore, hardly ever. But I will say, and Drew, you brought up an interesting thing. You go to like a continental breakfast or something, you see all those little mini boxes. I'm always looking for the Lucky Charms box. But my runner-up is one that no one's mentioned yet, and I haven't had it in a few years. Golden Grams. Love Golden Grams.
Love
Ooh,
Golden
hell
Grams.
yes.
But I will only have Golden Grams with chocolate milk.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever done that. That's interesting.
It's life changing.
I'm intrigued. But yeah, that was my runner-up.
My
is great.
Just thinking about this topic, and just because not because you said Golden Grams, but like it got me thinking of like, what's your? I'm tomorrow gonna go buy a box of Honey Smacks. It used to be called Sugar Smacks.
Yep.
Now Honey for branding.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm gonna go get me some Dig on the Frog and get some Honey Smacks.
I might go buy a box of Pops. I loved Pops.
I liked Pops.
Pops were good.
Captain Peanut Butter Crunch or whatever that was called.
Mhm.
And then
Peanut
the
butter was the best crunch.
And then I liked the Captain and Berries. But yeah, anyways, I feel like people should treat cereal the way they treat light beers. Like after college, like unless like
nope, it goes. There's a regression towards the mean when you have kids. You're like, oh, I gotta go. I have like 5 minutes to myself. I'm eating this bowl of cereal.
No, yeah, and
so I'm drinking this light beer because I still have to take care of.
Also
kids.
fine.
That's cereal, guys. Favorite omelet toppings.
Toppings or topping?
The meats, just
meats.
Throw
whatever.
Give me the Colorado omelet.
You can give me your penultimate or whatever.
I like Rick's answer of meats.
Meats.
I'm gonna go cheeses. Really, any cheese. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna adjust that. Mexican cheese in my omelet is phenomenal, and it goes with almost anything. It adds a little bit of extra flavor to it. So the Mexican cheese mix, that's where I'm going.
Are we talking just stuff that goes on top, or actual ingredients that are mixed in
whatever?
The omelet?
What's your ideal omelet?
I took it as mixed in.
Yeah. How would you like your omelet prepared, sir?
I like ham, cheese, onion, and then my penultimate, if I'm getting a really good omelet, and this is just from upbringing, is salsa.
There you go.
I like the Colorado style. Give me some paces on top of that.
There you go.
Give me some house made, just like mixed onions, tomato, lime juice, whatever it is on top of that. Yes, please.
I like it.
Agree with everything that everyone said. I will say specifically though, if I had to pick one of the meats, I'm going sausage over bacon or ham.
Agreed.
I like both bacon and ham, but I think sausage just does better. And Ben, for whatever reason, like if someone puts Mexican cheese in my omelet, I'm not mad about it. I'll eat it. It's still delicious. Something about it though just does. I feel like it takes away. I don't know why it takes away from the omelet. All I taste is the cheese a little bit. Where I almost like having goat cheese or some sort of like
or feta
or feta cheese probably, where it might not be in
yeah
every bite, but when I get it, it's like bam, cheese.
yes
But I don't have to have it in every bite.
I love that.
So if I
I
had to
feel
pick
the way about salsa the way you do about the cheese. Like I'm never mad that it's there, but
Right.
I'm never going to put it there.
yeah, I
But
won't ask for Mexican
I don't
cheese,
hate
but
it.
yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah. No, I
If
love
I-
the goat and feta idea. That's
Yeah.
phenomenal. Speaking about breakfast,
That's good because whole thing's breakfast. But guys, at what point does breakfast become brunch?
I'm going to throw out my controversial opinion here, and it may not be controversial, but breakfast becomes brunch when there's alcohol, and that is my only.
I'm going to need you to expand on that a little bit because I feel like that's close, but not all the way.
So originally, I was trying to debate like it had to be a time setting, but I think there's like my only strong feeling is at some point brunch ends and it's lunch and you're having lunch and you're having breakfast food for lunch, but that wasn't what we're trying to get down. So for me, it becomes brunch when there's alcohol that you are consuming as a drink with your food.
Without the time component, anytime I have alcohol, it is now brunch.
With it, well, okay. So if you,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, I know, I mean, that's fair. Like,
let's get
specific. I guess I
just need you to define some parameters.
I'll say this because brunch ends around 11:15 is the back end is when and it's not a hard line for me. It's like a slow fade. So like around 11:30ish, it's no longer brunch and it just becomes breakfast at lunch.
You shouldn't be sitting down to your table after 11:15 for brunch. Like at that point, it's like you're encroaching on lunch territory.
If you planned brunch for that time, it's no longer, you just want breakfast around lunch kind of thing. Like if you happen to be there and it's still that time, fine. But like if you call me and you said we're getting brunch at 11:45, like that's not brunch, that's lunch at that point. Right. Like we've missed that window. But the front end, like I don't know, breakfast time. When do people get up for breakfast? I'll say 6 a.m. At 6 a.m. is your window. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm so far on the other side of that, Rick, that I just want to put it out there. For me, brunch is a lifestyle.
I agree with that.
Brunch is the hungover person's I need to get food when I wake up late on a weekend meal. So I think brunch should only ever be Saturday or Sunday. And I think the acceptable time for brunch to start for everybody to get there is about 10 a.m. And cutoff time for brunch is about 2 p.m. for me. And I know. It's I know.
Who?
Yep.
If you call me and say we're getting brunch at 1, I'm punching you when I meet you. Because I have to
because again it's a lifestyle choice at that point. You've partied hard the night before, you wake up and everyone's just kind of getting their shit together, and then you show up around like 11 o'clock noon and the brunch lasts until like 1:30, 2 o'clock.
I'm okay with it lasting that long, but if it starts at 1, I'm angry.
Last call, okay, 2 is a little bit generous. A last call for brunch on a weekend day for me would be around 1 o'clock. Like sit down.
Does last call mean sit down?
We're gonna
for your table?
Right. Like I'm not saying
sit down for your we stopped serving the brunch menu. Kitchen stopped serving the brunch menu at 1 o'clock. Is like my
1 o'clock. I'm okay with.
Yeah, no, and I get that. And so my second thing would be I feel like the foods at brunch are generally a little bit heavier.
Yeah, probably.
And so
I don't know the menus very well.
I guess probably the 2 biggest things I associate with brunch would be like a croque madame sandwich, which is like the sourdough with the eggs, ham, with the egg on top, or like eggs Benedict. Like they've got some
certain
substance.
certain items.
Yeah, certain items that you associate with brunch, a really
Okay.
like kind of dense, more hangovery food
Sure.
sandwich. It's like everyone's trying to get the hair of the dog with the mimosas. And then there's food items that are associated a little bit more with those as well.
Okay.
So, Rick, I asked you for a time frame because I think ultimately that's where we have to go. But I
Yeah,
am
I
a little
understand.
bit with you because my answer is maybe a little too literal. I don't know. But it's if you take the word breakfast, it means to break fast, which means it should be your first meal of the day.
Right.
Right. So if you have breakfast at 9, you can no longer have brunch. You have already broken your fast. It's done. You can't have breakfast and then brunch. I mean, you can, but it's just like second breakfast. Lord of the Rings. So I think it's when you're breaking your fast around lunchtime is when brunch is technically. It's not necessarily that in between time. It could be, I don't know, but it's when you're breaking fast around in and around lunchtime. So I would
Okay.
say it's probably around 11 ish. I would say no later than 1. That seems crazy to me. It just
Yeah.
and I think alcohol. Here's my question: if it's brunch, does alcohol have to be involved?
Yes.
Someone at the you don't necessarily have to have it, but someone at the table
If we're
has to
going
have
for brunch and nobody got a mimosa, blood, if not one person has alcohol, then
it's not brunch.
no.
It's just
But
that's breakfast.
I'll agree with that. Okay,
yeah.
so it would have to be also a time of day where it is you can drink whatever time of day you want to drink, but let's say it's at a time where it's almost socially acceptable to
Yeah,
drink.
we can say socially acceptable.
Yeah. So like drinking at 9 a.m.
Right.
You could do it. It's probably not 10, 10:30.
Yeah.
Maybe 11, definitely. It's close enough. So I'm thinking it's anywhere between 11 and 1, but that also seems too lunchy for me.
If we're going weekends,
So I'm really struggling to find like a
I'm okay with
bang answer.
I'm not judging anybody around
I think 11 to 1 is a good
9:45 for drinking. But
how is that not lunch? How is that just not lunch? I'm like,
again, it's the items that you're ordering.
but what if I order chicken lo mein?
It's bad.
As long as you have alcohol with it.
I'm going to jump out there because I kind of went a little bit of different route. And maybe I did this for the sake of the podcast. I'm not really sure. Time felt like the probably easiest answer. And Rick, actually really appreciated your alcohol answer only because I just mentioned a few minutes ago that sometimes I like to wake up and put whiskey in my coffee to cure that hangover. That's not breakfast. That's just me having whiskey in my coffee.
That's just the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, brunch it is, and Travis, I appreciate your break fast definition, but for brunch, me, it's taking the word and taking breakfast and lunch and combining it. And it's not a time. It's a specific event where both menus are available, the breakfast menu and the lunch menu. I can sit at a table with you. You can have a hamburger. I can have eggs and bacon. They're both available. And it is a combination of breakfast and lunch across the board. That's what a brunch is. A brunch is being able to choose what you're in the mood for. If I woke up at 8 and you woke up at 11 and we're having brunch at noon, well, I woke up at 11. Maybe I want breakfast, but you woke up at 8. Maybe you're ready for a burger or a steak salad or whatever it is. For me, it's always been like the choice. That's what brunch is. It's a choice. Do you want that first meal, or are you ready for that second meal? Did you wake up at 6 a.m. with your kids, or did you just wake up at 11:30 and roll out of bed? That's what brunch has always been to me. So the question of what point does it become brunch? It's not a time. It's an event to where both menus are available.
I actually really like this, Ben, because it brings it back to the roots of what I think brunch was originally. And then through mainstream culture, it's become this thing that it is now. But I think you got to the heart of what it originally was like if I go to a place and they serve waffles and bacon and eggs until 11, but I can also get the lunch menu starting at 10 o'clock. That little hour there, that's the go between right there. I can get whatever I want. And I think it's evolved over time to become what it is. But I do really like that answer of it's the that kind of in between time where you can kind of get a little bit of whatever it is you're looking for.
I just have a hard time accepting that answer only because
I think we're on the same page.
no, we're not. That just means now I can never just like bring a flask to McDonald's and have brunch.
Why not?
There's a clear cutoff when they're serving one menu. You can't have it both ways.
So I love that. And you can always bring a flask of whiskey to McDonald's.
No, you could do that.
And I
but
think
you can't
there is
have
some
brunch at McDonald's because they only serve breakfast for this time and they only serve lunch for this time. And Ben's was saying, oh, when both are available. And now brunch doesn't exist at McDonald's anymore.
Agreed.
Well,
I would say
killing the dream.
brunch doesn't exist at McDonald's.
But there
That
was
would
a
be my
time.
argument.
but there
I
was
would
a
say
time.
brunch only exists at certain places that offers
Okay.
both things at once. So McDonald's is if there's a true cutoff, brunch does not exist at McDonald's. That would be
So
my argument.
then
You're
what if
breaking my
they are
heart.
both continuously offered? Is it always brunch?
Ooh.
Because
It's a great question.
Ooh.
there are restaurants now that always serve breakfast and always serve lunch.
Absolutely.
Available all day.
But then the only way to establish that place that offers all types of food, because at the end of the day, certain foods are categorized as breakfast foods
Yes.
and then lunch foods, and some are categorized as dinner, but a lot of times those bleed into lunch. But if some place offers 24/7 whatever you want, I wouldn't even know how to categorize. That feels like a crazy category out in
It's called a diner.
It's called Waffle House too. Yeah.
it's called Waffle House, exactly.
Yeah. Like
But I wouldn't
That's their
categorize that
shtick.
breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Then you have to go to time only because that place has no
Waffle House
other
doesn't serve alcohol.
setup. No, that's
it
unfortunate.
doesn't. You're right.
Yeah, but everybody brings their own, so it's fine.
Or the people
yeah,
that are
that's-
throwing the plates against the wall have their own behind the counter. I think, and the only reason I bring that up, I think Drew's answer was the best in terms of at least the lifestyle part of it. And Ben, you're onto it as well. Like I agree, it's the in between, but there has to be, just because you have the option of getting breakfast food and non-breakfast food at the same time, like brunch has to start and stop. And as much as I hate Travis asking me for a time frame, like I respect it because it has to start and stop. And it doesn't have to be a hard, like it can be like a flaccid, if you will, a gray
Soft.
area to where, depending on
An
Yes.
ish.
yeah, an ish, like we can throw in the ish here, but there has to be a window. And at some point, it's like, it when you see it, like it's no longer brunch now, you're just getting breakfast food, or it's, you're deciding to get a hamburger at 6 a.m. at the airport because you're, like
The only Red Robin happens to be open.
Yeah.
Maybe you're on a red eye and that's your dinner. Who knows?
Right.
I like that. And really quick, Travis, before you go, I've never gone to brunch without somebody saying we're going to brunch.
Right.
Like I've never just ended up at brunch.
Right.
Or
exactly.
like I've never like made a date with some friends and been like it's understood that we're going to breakfast if we're meeting at 10 a.m. It's understood that we're going to lunch if we're meeting at like noon, 1 o'clock. Somebody specifically says, let's do
Yes.
brunch. That
You know what?
That's when it becomes brunch. To
I'm
me.
adding it. You speak it into existence first. The step one.
Yeah,
you
it-
must say brunch.
Somebody has to
I like
you
that.
as a collective consciousness, you
Yes.
have to agree that this is brunch
Yes.
together. Of like somebody's like, oh, let's do brunch, and you're like, okay, that means that we're gonna go at from anywhere from like 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and we're gonna go to a place that serves items that are. I'm kind of putting all of our shit
Breakfasty,
together.
Yes. Yes.
It,
Yeah.
it includes breakfast items
And
and
lunch
lunch
items.
items.
Yes.
And alcohol.
and alcohol. I do agree that alcohol has to be in there. So I think we can kind of come to a little bit of a consensus.
I like that.
I'm good with that.
You must speak it.
I think we're close. I have just, and if this is too much, I don't know. If I say, Rick, let's go to brunch. We've now created an event, right? I think that's what you were trying to get at. It has brunch is an event.
A stated event.
Right.
It's
Rick and I are
agreed upon by everybody.
Rick and I are going to brunch, getting our own table. We're gonna get alcohol, we're gonna do our thing. It's 11 o'clock. Ben and Drew show up on their own accord. They don't know us. They're sitting down. They never agreed that it was brunch. They aren't getting alcohol. Is it still brunch?
No.
Did they sit down with
to
us?
them?
No. Well, no. Like in the grand scheme of brunch,
I see.
Right, two separate parties.
It's
taking
like the
my
room
family.
of requirement. All right.
Can you have simultaneous brunch and lunch with
I think
next
you can.
to each other
at the same restaurant?
100%. I think you can.
Yeah.
Okay, so brunch is a
it's
not a time.
It's
individual
independent
event, yeah.
from the restaurant that you're at.
It's how you feel.
If there were three parties,
it's an emotion.
Yes. I think yes.
Yeah,
I will define it like that.
State of mind. It's a state of mind, and
as you said, it's a lifestyle. Yes. So I can brunch next to you who is not brunching,
who's having lunch.
Yes.
Also next to a table that's finishing their breakfast.
I don't know what we decided on, but I love it. I agree.
There was an answer somewhere in there.
It's maybe my favorite compromise we've come to in a really long time.
So Travis, I think this was your point. The question is, at what point does breakfast become brunch? It's when you think it's brunch. Is that what you were getting at? Is basically it?
As long as it's within the acceptable brunch-ish time frame.
Right.
And there's alcohol.
Time frame.
Yeah.
But if you think it,
no, like
personal choice.
If it's 8 o'clock at night, it's not brunch.
Right. No, within the acceptable time frame.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The ish time frame.
Yes.
I like it. I like it.
I love that answer. I've never been so proud.
If we ever do merch, brunch state of mind is absolutely a t-shirt.
Star of that. Yes.
And if that's not the name of this episode, I'm going to be upset.
Done. Guys, we need to learn a little bit more about each other. What is your favorite jelly/jam flavor? We'll go Ben. Ben.
This is actually really easy for me. It's grape. I've tried them all. They're all amazing, but it's grape, hands down. No contest.
That's a good one. Drew?
I think like blackberry, black currant would be my go-to. I was gonna go marmalade, but I think that's its own thing. So yeah, like blackberry jam.
Okay, Rick.
To me, all jam is jam. It just adds an extra little sweet kind of thing to whatever I'm eating. However, that being said, if mixed berry is present, I'll reach for it first.
So I too am a grape. I'm in the grape camp. However, you give me one of these newfangled spicy jellies, these hot pepper jellies.
Excuse me?
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
These exist outside of brunch state of mind, or
they're within brunch state of mind and without.
I've never heard of these before. This is new.
Hot pepper jelly. It's it's bell peppers and jalapenos, but like jellied. It's real good. It's like sugar. Yeah. Wouldn't have it all the time, but like you tell me that there's a hot pepper jelly. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. Rick, pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Drew, pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Ben, pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Waffle sweep. Waffle sweep. Waffle is the superior. Does French toast change? It won't change Rick's. Does French toast change anyone's answer?
It's not the same.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
don't put it in the same category. I would put crepes in the same category.
Still wouldn't beat
And
a waffle.
No, but I would put them above
Okay.
pancakes.
Okay. Okay. Favorite way to consume your eggs? Drew Mellors.
Sunny side up.
Okay. Okay. Sunny side, not with a fork. That's fine. Ben.
It's hard because my favorite way to consume eggs is not really breakfast.
That's fine.
Because I love them deviled. Like
That's
that is
fine.
by far my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can crush some deviled eggs.
Dude, like I made a dozen a couple of days ago, ate them all in one day.
If I had to go back and we're talking top of the top, like best way to make eggs, deviled. Yeah, I'd go that way.
I don't know why Rick is
I don't know why Rick.
he's so happy.
He can't. He
It's
can't right now.
it's infectious.
It has nothing to do with any of y'all said.
Okay.
It just I rewound back to Travis's chicken lo mein answer, and I was like, if Travis says that's his favorite way to consume it,
In fried rice.
I was gonna say fried
Fried
rice.
Egg fried rice.
Funny fuse.
Oh, I'm out.
Congealed.
Rick preemptively made himself
It's
crack up.
okay.
No, I'm over easy / over medium, but deviled actually might be my answer too. Rick.
Yeah, I'm over easy or hard boiled.
Yep. Okay. I like it. I'm getting a little tired and a little drunk. But that's okay, because we're getting rid of one breakfast item forever. What's the worst of the worst? What breakfast item, if put in front of you, just like ruins your day?
I haven't gone first yet, so I'll go first tonight for this one. I was going back and forth on a couple of things, but one thing really stood out to me, and it's not always an item by itself, usually not for breakfast, but it gets added to a handful of breakfast items, especially a lot to omelets. I don't know why mushrooms made it into breakfast. They don't belong with anything breakfast. Don't put them next to your meats. Mm-hmm. Don't put them in your omelets. I don't get it. It just doesn't follow the breakfast scheme in my head. So get rid of mushrooms. They don't belong for breakfast. Dinner only. That's it.
I'm not mad. Travis, the way you phrased the question just now changed my answer. And
ruins your day.
Yes, because originally I was prepared to say
chicken lo mein.
No, because I was originally going to say French toast, I think, is what we should get rid of. But it doesn't ruin my day. It's just, again, it's just not my thing. But what ruins my day, if you serve me turkey bacon, I'm flipping the table.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Fighting. Turkey bacon needs to go. And you can have it. You can have it at your brunch. You can have it, at your dinner or wherever you want to go. But if you serve it to me for breakfast,
and no matter how many times you tell me it tastes like real, no, it doesn't.
No, it does not.
That's a strong contender. Drew,
a glass of milk.
Okay,
I just don't get it. Like as a component to a breakfast dish. Okay, if it's in cereal, if you put it in your omelets to fluff them up a little bit,
but anything like that, get it.
Just if you order a glass of milk to drink, and I get that it's good for kids, all of the things I understand. As an adult in this world, if you just order a single glass of milk to go along with your breakfast,
get a little weird.
I'm not mad at that because I can't remember the last time I purposely got milk as a beverage, except for like middle school lunch. Yeah. And yeah, I'm not.
But does that include? I would never order milk in public, but if my kid,
it includes.
If my son is already getting milk,
and you take a swig from it, no,
yeah, I'm
okay. There's extenuating circumstances.
Yeah,
I feel like that's okay. But if you purposefully, when you're sitting down to your breakfast, if you're having what about
purposefully?
What about chocolate milk?
Nope. No, I'm I'm gonna include chocolate milk. If you
I was gonna
say
say, if someone got chocolate
can't-
milk, I'd be like,
can't-
if you say
Smart.
I
Chocolate
crave
milk is a
this,
treat. A glass of milk if I'm eating Oreos or a
That's not
piece of
breakfast, though.
pie. I know. I'm just saying in general, like there are times in the world where a glass of milk is appropriate. A standalone at breakfast when I'm having all these other food options, it should
which is why before I go, I can't go with yours is because I think there are too many exceptions. Like it's still super weird to just get a glass of milk, but because you can get a glass of milk and it's so useful still, and nobody like
but
people
those exceptions are still pretty rare.
yeah, but nobody like I don't think you're if someone served you a glass of milk, would your day be ruined?
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I don't believe
That
that.
could have been
True.
in
I mean,
something
it
else.
depends on the glass of milk for me. Because if you serve me like almond milk or something
No,
weird
like
that,
milk, farm to
on
table
mine.
milk straight from the udder. No, what? Too much. Too much. Okay, sorry. I
Travis, if you bring the cow in and shoot the milk straight in my mouth from the teat, we'll talk.
okay. New restaurant concept. Got it. Um, I'm gonna go. My vote will end up being turkey bacon,
That's right. Well,
but my answer was grits. I don't.
That's a
I
good
thought
answer
more people
though.
would throw out grits.
I-
honestly. I was
It
prepared
wasn't
to walk away
my
angry.
backups.
It's the of all of the starchy options,
Yeah.
whatever. It's the worst. It doesn't
Yeah.
add to anything. I don't know why it's there. It's just meh. It's like it's never good.
It's so easy to make bad. Like most people do not make
it's
it good.
gruel.
Okay,
Yeah,
if that first of all, if that's the ground rule, there's a lot to add to the list. Also, before we go down this road, I'm fully prepared to lose this one because I was walking around Publix today, ironically, and I was like, people are going to bring up grits, and I'm going to be sad, but that's okay.
I like
I would
the turkey
be
bacon.
if someone served me
Yeah.
grits and turkey bacon, I would be.
I'm actually-
I'm eating the grits.
I'm
not
eating the turkey. I'm eating
Nah.
the turkey bacon over
Nah.
the grits.
So Travis,
Ugh.
I will give you grits as like a side item if I get a plate of like breakfast foods, like a full English or something like that, and grits is on the side, I'm gonna be mad. But if I order shrimp and grits on a menu that I know
That's fair.
is
I do
gonna
like
be
shrimp and grits.
good,
I love shrimp and grits.
that's a different thing. There's
Ugh.
a lot of ones
Can
where like
be
Grit-
so
uh,
bad.
I can't do grits.
I feel similarly about oatmeal.
I will say for you, Travis, grits can go bad, maybe worse than any other breakfast item I know of. They can be watery, they can be tasteless, they can be over flavored. So I do feel you on that one.
Rick, you said oatmeal you don't like.
No, I like grits. I like grits and oatmeal. I'll eat both of them. Just of the two, to me like they're the same vein. Like they're both the same general idea. I know they're not, but
Mhm.
like in terms of like easy
No,
to
they're
mess up, like a
consistent.
side.
Really similar.
I don't know. I keep going back to the turkey bacon. I always think of the Parks and Rec Ron Swanson throwing away the vegan
100%.
bacon. So I know it's not turkey bacon and vegan bacon, but 1A, 1B
It's
in my
basically-
head.
If
So
the
Might as
question
well
is
be.
ruin my day, that will ruin my day.
Mm,
yeah,
I'm all in favor of getting rid of turkey bacon.
yeah,
I'm okay with
I'll-
that.
I'll
I'm
put
good
it
with
in.
that.
All right, that was
Yeah.
I don't want to say easy, but like that was we came.
Yeah.
Well done, well done. I had not thought of turkey bacon. Speaking of bacon, let's get to know each other one last time. Guys, what is your ideal bacon to egg ratio? As in, how many eggs per how many strips of bacon?
So I had to break this down because to me, a side of bacon is 3 strips of bacon. If I say a side, I'm expecting to get 3. And then so I guess if I'm going my perfect, I'm assuming I get 2 or 3 eggs. So I want 5 strips of bacon probably with that. So math.
Well, I mean, if you're getting 2 eggs, you're expecting a side of bacon, which is
Yes, if
3
I'm getting 2
strips of
eggs,
bacon.
I expect 3. A set of bacon is 3.
So a ratio of 3 to 2.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah,
That works.
okay.
I'm with Rick on this, and it's more of a less than an exact science, but it's more like if I take a bite of bacon, I
Yes.
expect a bite of eggs to go with it. So I think the 3
Interesting.
pieces
Okay.
to 2 eggs works really well for that, especially for like sunny side up or over easy over medium. When you get into scrambled, I think it's a little bit more iffy on how
Yeah.
many, but I think that 3 to 2 is about my perfect ratio. And you can up it from there. If I go for 4 eggs, I want 6 pieces of bacon to go with it.
You heard a lot of bacon. I said all the bacon is the perfect ratio.
I think
Being
you
real
misunderstood me,
honest
son.
about life. Like there is not such thing as too much bacon. But.
Bacon with a side of eggs.
Right.
Yeah. So and mine is a specific number. That was a really good point. You know, you want to buy a egg, you want to buy a bacon. But if you're like me, you're gonna sneak in the extra bite of bacon here or there and not fully go egg bacon, egg bacon. So for me, it was always 1 egg to 2 slices of bacon. So if I got 2 eggs on my plate, I want 4 slices of bacon. And if I only get 3 on my side of eggs, I'm usually looking for, at the end of my bacon, like, oh man, I wish I had another 1 or 2. But like at home, personally, when I make 3 eggs for breakfast, I'm throwing down 5, 6 slices of bacon and eating them all. So 1 egg, 2 bacon.
That's fair.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with any ratio at the end of the day. But what I found I think just because I eat so many eggs for whatever they were cheap, quick, easy to make, and bacon is not as good for you, whatever. I'm on the other side as I've gotten older, and I'm 2 eggs to 1 piece of bacon. I know it's weird.
You?
Okay.
But like I'm usually like maybe making a sandwich with it, and I'm like, I can only fit like, I'm just gonna cut this piece of bacon in half. I almost went 1 to 1, which is probably more reasonable and more like actual, but like if I really sit down and think about it, I like my eggs. I'm gonna eat more eggs. Give me all the eggs.
I'm questioning things, but
Again, I would never be mad if someone gave me more bacon, but just like if I'm thinking about like if I want my breakfast, if I'm making an omelet, if I'm making eggs for breakfast, I'm probably only gonna have 1 or 2 slices of bacon.
I'm okay with the 1 to 1. That's
Yeah,
about
that's
as low as I
probably-
can go.
Yeah.
I can't do the 2 egg to 1 bacon. That's
I'm not
awesome.
okay with an even.
I'm not
egg to
either,
bacon
but I'm trying to
ratio. No,
Here's
there's no
the
compromise
bacon
here.
needs to be a little bit.
There needs to be because of size alone. Like there needs to be more bacon to the egg, just based on how much you get from each. Go, Drew.
the true answer for me is if I feel at any point like I'm having to ration my bacon intake
Yes.
because of the other foods on my plate, there's been an error.
There's not enough.
And I need more bacon to
Yes.
even if it's just 1 slice to get me over that edge. That's where we're at.
And I guess now that I'm thinking about it, Ben, you brought up a pretty good point of like I'm sneaking bites of bacon. In my head, I probably only made 1 slice of bacon for my 2 eggs, but in reality, I'm probably eating 2 slices of bacon before I get my 1 slice. So it's probably
You
close.
gotta, you gotta test it.
Yeah.
Right. Is it done yet?
Sure it's done. And then you gotta eat the bits that got a little too crispy first.
Right.
And
So
who
you got
doesn't
the
love
perfect stuff left at the end.
Yeah, the occasional little crispy that falls into the eggs, and then you get it all in one bite.
I'd probably say, like, practically speaking, I'm a 1 to 1, which isn't terribly far off from like a 3 to 2. So if I'm getting 2 eggs, I'm getting 2 slices of bacon instead of 3, like just 1 less strip. So I'm probably closer to a 1 to 1, but yeah, I'm definitely okay, that's fair. What sauce, if any, do you put on your eggs? I know we all talked about salsa a little bit. Huge salsa fan on the eggs. As a compliment, like I'm not slathering it in salsa, but just a little bit of like a half a spoonful of salsa on the top of my omelet or my eggs or whatever, just to like get a little bit of bite of something different to kind of spice it up. Yeah, I'm all about salsa. Ben, you mentioned, in my youth, I would create a dam of pancake to keep the syrup off the eggs. We all probably did that thing. We're like, don't touch it. No, gotta keep it separate. But then it happened and I tasted the syrup on the eggs and it was really good.
Yeah, but that's when it
But not on purpose.
into it.
No, I know.
It's only good when it's not on purpose. But
Agreed. I would never pour
yeah,
syrup
I would never
directly
pour
onto
syrup
my
on
eggs.
my
Right.
eggs.
It's an
But I just
accent.
wanted to like say
Yeah.
it's a Bob Ross.
Right.
So
No, no, for me, my sauce is the beautiful, sexy, spicy Mrs. Cholula. That is what I love to put on my eggs. Yeah, she belongs on a lot of different things, but definitely goes great with eggs.
I'm in the same vein. If I can't have salsa, just like a really nice salsa, any kind of hot sauce will do. Cholula is a preferred, but pretty much anything hot sauce wise, I'll do. Even like green sauces. Texas Pete
Ooh,
was my
interesting.
my family
Oh, like the
brand
hot pepper
growing.
sauces.
Yep.
yeah.
Anything to give it a little kick.
So I am hot sauce. I won't do the green, and then second, if there's no, then ketchup. It's either hot sauce or ketchup.
No.
Again,
not fans.
I will not put salsa on my eggs, but if they come to me there, I won't be necessarily angry.
I can handle ketchup if it's with like maybe my potatoes next to it and it gets a little bit on my eggs, kind of like what I do with syrup.
No,
But I can't handle
it's
ketchup like
intentional for
on
me.
the eggs.
It is. I treat ketchup like hot sauce. It is on the eggs.
I like basically I don't want to say I hate ketchup because it's not true, but like I'm in camp no ketchup if I
Yeah, that's fine.
if
That's
I ever
fine.
can be. Like I just eggs, hash browns, French fries, no ketchup.
That's-
Burger, hot dog, sure. The starch based things.
I'm not mad
yeah,
at that,
yeah.
but
No.
I'll go eggs, or I'll go ketchup on eggs sometimes.
What's your favorite thing to put on a bagel? I said thing to keep it generic, but if you wanted to say schmear, if you wanted to say jelly, if you want to say butter, if you wanted to say toppings, whatever. What's your favorite thing to put on a bagel?
Strawberry cream cheese.
Nice.
If I'm just going schmear, give me the cream cheese and chives. Give me the little, a little bit extra onion. Drew's nodding his head in agreement. I said it earlier. Give me the full on, New York Jewish deli special. If I'm making, if I'm having it my way, give me the lox, the red onion, the lettuce, and the cream cheese. Yep. That would on an everything bagel, slightly toasted. Yep, all day. However, if we're just talking schmear, give me the chive cream cheese.
Same with you, Travis. If we're just talking one component, give me the cream cheese and chive all day, every day. Bagels for me are a lot. Like they're a really dense bread. So I like them in a sandwich form.
Mhm.
If I'm really gonna go for it. So give me
So eggs, bacon.
Yep.
cheese, egg
Yep. There you go. I
all
like
day,
it.
every day. With mayo as my preferred sauce on there.
I like it.
Yeah, Drew, I love bagels, probably my favorite way to have a breakfast sandwich. But just for a schmear, in me, it's a little different. So when it's untoasted, it's going to be regular old cream cheese. That's my favorite. But for me, when it's toasted and hot, I love peanut butter on a bagel. I love the fact that it melts,
Okay.
it gets everywhere,
Ooh,
it's messy,
good.
covers around the edges. I love peanut butter on a hot bagel.
I will say I love that answer, Ben. A peanut butter jelly with a bagel as the
Oh,
bread.
yeah.
Holy fuck, dude. And
Yeah.
even add a little bit of cream cheese in there
Yeah.
if you want to get like spicy with it. It's superior.
I also do like to just like put, you get a bunch of maybe like smaller bagels, you put them in the toaster and a little sauce
A
and
little pizza stuff on
mozzarella
top.
cheese. Yeah.
Man, if someone would come up with
Put some
that
really
and
tiny diced up
commercialize it,
pepperoni.
Yeah.
amazing.
There we go.
Yeah.
No one said marinara.
It's
Can
a sauce.
somebody do that like with a real bagel and not like the bagel bites? Like I want to see someone stroll up to breakfast and start making a pizza bagel.
Challenge accepted.
I have had them, Rick.
Yeah.
Rick,
you?
you know
Are
that. So you know they have the bagel thins.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah,
like
I
it's
do
basically
that,
like
yeah.
muffin tops, but for bagels. So
Mm.
they only have the really thin ones, and you split them apart, and you just make little pieces out of them. I have had that before,
Like
and they are
Lunchables?
no, you just make them. You bring.
No,
all
I'm sorry.
but-
In terms of bread thickness is what I was going for.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
because a regular bagel, you're saying a regular bagel is a little too thick for something like that.
I don't think so, but they're more forgiving.
Yeah.
Like you get more topping to bagel bread
Maybe you could.
ratio.
What if
sure.
you pulled? What if you pulled out like the center bread in a bagel and filled it with like pizza stuff?
Do I get the center
I'd
bread
be-
back?
No,
Why not?
because then because
Why
you're
do you take
equal.
away my bread?
You're equaling like you said. You're equaling your bread to topping ratio.
Who wants that?
Me, I want to try it. I'm gonna make them tomorrow. Actually,
Okay.
I'm excited.
That's fair. Report back your findings.
I will.
Guys, I'm hungry.
On today's
I
podcast,
don't know about you.
I
I'm gonna go eat some frozen waffles. Because I do what I do. Order some Chinese food. Thanks for listening.
refrigerated lo mein.
Thanks for listening. I appreciate you guys for listening, I guess. Maybe. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, follow us, listen, tell people about us. And then also next week, we're gonna do something big. Next week we're inventing a flavor. We're gonna explore a new planet, and we're also going to determine the worst TV show character. But just remember, this is our podcast. You're just along for the ride.